Hello everyone, nice to be talking to you again. I just wanted to talk to you today about the fact that Pluto is turning direct today and give you some idea of what this means, what it is, what it means. As I'm sure you know, Pluto is the planet of transformation and change. I think of Pluto very much as a sort of Caradwen planet. And that energy of transformation and change has been kind of directed towards the past because Pluto has been retrograde. And I always feel that any planet, when it's retrograde, is getting us to look at the lessons that we've learned from the past. So, looking at your own life, have you been asking yourself, what transformation and changes have been good for me? Which ones have worked? Which ones have maybe not worked? What is your attitude towards transformation and change? Are you the sort that opens up, surrenders, welcomes it all in? Or are you the sort that kind of clings to the way things are, the status quo by your fingernails, going, no, I don't want to change? Maybe you have a bit of both. That's not unusual. But Pluto is, when it's retrograde, asking us to look at what we've done in the past with this transformational energy and what we want to do going forward. What lessons have we learned? How can you do better in the future? Do you need to be more open to transformation and change? Or do you need to be less possessive of what you have and, as I say, more open? There's this kind of, life is always about the lesson to me. It's all about the lesson. And it's, when a planet is retrograde, it's taking its own energy and saying, how have you done this in the past? And how can you do it better in the future? So as Pluto turns direct, suddenly you might find that things start going forward more, that you're more open to transformation and change, and that more transformation and change is actually happening in your life. If you feel like you've been pushing against a closed door, suddenly it might feel like the door is actually opening. So there's a lot of this beautiful energy coming forward. The shadow side of Pluto is always obsession. It's this sense of, it's the opposite of the transformation, because transformation always involves letting go of something. Obsession is clinging to something. It's this sense of, I'm obsessed with chocolate cake or whatever, and I've got to have chocolate cake every day, otherwise I'm going to kill someone. Well, maybe not that, but you get what I mean. This kind of sense of obsession that just absolutely gotta have X, Y, and Z, and if I don't have it, then I'm gonna go berserk and I'm gonna get snappy and I'm gonna go to that lowest self part of myself. So the obsession, as I say, is the lowest point of the Pluto energy. And the opening and surrendering to all the transformation and change is the highest point. Any planet simply gives us energy, and it's up to us what we do with that energy. So yes, it's easy to blame the stars. It's easy to blame the astrology and say, oh, well, I did that because the moon was in Capricorn or whatever. That's no excuse, people. Sorry, it isn't. Goddess gives us the energy of the stars, of the planets. What we do with that energy is up to us. And that is us owning ourselves and taking responsibility for our actions. That is what we are supposed to be doing. And that's often a part of the lesson in itself. So, do you want to step into the beautiful energy of transformation and change, or do you want to dive into this negative energy of obsession and clinging on and being possessive of all the things that don't serve you? What you do is up to you. But Pluto is turning direct. So the energy is now about taking that energy, whatever it is, and going forward with it. It's no longer about the past. This is about where you are now and where you want to go and going into the future. So, do you want to go high? Do you want to go low? That is up to you. Thank you for listening. Blessed be.